Hey, if you're a dog owner in Norton, then this is for you. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find a great trainer, someone you can really feel good about choosing for you and your pup. Okay, first up, let's talk about what training actually means for living here in Norton. It's more than just sit and stay. It's really about getting your dog ready for the specific stuff you'll run into right here in town. I mean, think about it, right? You want a dog who can stroll past joggers at the reservoir without losing it, or stay focused when you're passing another dog on Bay Road. And what about when a deer pops out in the backyard? You don't want them bolting. That's what good training does. It preps your dog for real life, Norton life. So where do you even start to find a trainer who can help with all that? Well, it really boils down to two things first, their methods and their credentials. Getting this part right is absolutely key. The gold standard you're going to want to look for is positive reinforcement. And it's not just about being nice, though it is. It's so effective because it builds trust and makes learning fun for your dog. They actually want to learn. Plus, a happy, motivated dog is going to have a much easier time following those local rules, which is a win-win. Okay, so you might see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name. Don't let them intimidate you. They're actually a really helpful shortcut. Something like CPDTK just means they're a certified professional whose knowledge has been tested. Seeing these credentials is a good sign that they're serious about their education and using humane, up-to-date methods. All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What kinds of programs are out there and, what's this going to cost? Let's look at what's typical for the Norton area. So you've basically got two main paths, group classes or private lessons. Group classes, they're awesome for learning general manners and getting your dog used to other dogs and people. But private lessons, that's where you can really zero in on specific problems, like going nuts when the doorbell rings or that leash pulling thing on your daily walk. All right, let's talk numbers. What should you be budgeting for this? Here's a look at the average cost for 2025, right here in Norton and Bristol County. A group class series might be in the couple $100 range, while private lessons will be a bigger investment. Of course, this can change depending on the trainer's experience and exactly what you and your dog need help with. Okay, so you've narrowed it down to a few trainers. Now comes a really important step. You got to interview them. Seriously, having a conversation is the best way to feel out if they're the right match for you and your dog. And to help with that conversation, here's a little checklist for you. You want to ask about their methods, their background, and, this is a big one, how they'll make the training plan work for your Norton lifestyle. And definitely get clear on how you'll track progress and what the all-in costs are. No one likes surprises later on. The real work of training doesn't just happen during the lesson. It happens every day out in the real world. So it helps to know the local rules of the road and some good spots to practice all those new skills. And the biggest rule here in Norton? It's the leash law. Simple as that. Whenever you're in a public space, your dog needs to be on a leash, usually about a 6-footer, and under your control. It's just about keeping everyone safe and comfortable. Beyond the leash law, there are a couple other housekeeping things to know. All dogs over 6 months old need an annual license from the town clerk. And to get that, you'll need to show proof of a rabies vaccine, which is required by the state anyway. Pretty straightforward stuff. So where can you go to practice? Well, we've got some great spots around here. The Norton Reservoir is perfect for working on staying focused when there are joggers and bikes around. Need a bit more room to stretch out? The trails at Canoe River Aquifer Park or even heading over to Borderland and Easton are fantastic for practicing things like recall in a more open, natural space. So when you put it all together, it really comes down to this: finding a good professional who uses humane methods and then just being consistent with the practice. That's the recipe, right there. It's how you help your dog become that calm, confident companion we all want. So now that you've got a roadmap, what's the first thing you're going to work on? Maybe just a nice, loose leash walk down your own street? Or maybe practicing a calm sit when your neighbor comes out to get the mail? Whatever you start with, we wish you the best of luck, because the payoff is huge. Having that dog that you can take with you anywhere in town, who's a joy to be around, that makes life better for everybody.